And a jolly good morning to you from a slightly cool but bright and breezy Cuxhaven here in the north of Germany. Not quite as far north as it's possible to go, but it's quite northerly. It's on the coast, and I've come here for a day today to have a little look around, see what there is of interest here. What can I tell you about Cuxhaven? Well, it's on the North Sea coast, and if you look at a map of Germany at that top bit, and you see the bit that sticks up that eventually becomes Denmark, it's just to the left of there, north of Bremen, northwest of Hamburg. Both cities are not that far away from here. And at one time there used to be a passenger ferry service from the UK here, Harwich to Cuxhaven, which, like many of those passenger services, died a death along with the arrival of the Channel Tunnel. Sadly, there was also at one point passenger services available on some of the freight lines that operated from the UK. DFDS used to do one from Immingham near Hull, but I think with Brexit that also had to stop, as the port wasn't geared up for just regular foot passengers, only freight. So there you go. I'm going to take a little wander around here. Let's see what this city has got to offer. First off is the rather handy map right outside the station here, and we'll have a little circular walk around, see what there is. It is a holiday resort here, it's also a port, so hopefully there'll be some interesting things to see. Right, so here's the plan of action. The main station here, or the station here, is located right in the centre of town. I'm going to have a little wander around the old town area, towards the Schloss, back towards the railway station, and walk out to a place called Kugelbake. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Looks interesting, and the walk seems to take you through some interesting areas out towards the coast, and then grab a bus back to the railway station. All that should take a couple of hours, assuming I don't get lost, of course. The bus does seem to take a long time, so I might just walk back as well. For example, it said from where I am now to Kugelbake, or in the other direction, about 10 to 15 minutes driving in a car. It's an hour's walk and 40 minutes on the bus, so I haven't decided on that for sure, but I'll certainly walk out to it and then make my mind up for coming back once I'm there. Initial thoughts. Right, well, we've got some cobbled streets, that's always a good start. What appears to be a semi-pedestrianised area just off to my right. I'm going to work a circle around here. Well, the town does seem rather sleepy, to say the least. I've read just a few little pointers about this part of Germany up on the coast. Fish obviously is a popular choice for eating, and I'm hoping to have some for my lunch later on if I find somewhere suitable, but it's a little way off that yet. But the fish backer I had yesterday in Bremen, within a bread roll, fish backer and Brötchen, which is fried fish in a bread roll basically, a very posh fish finger sandwich. Equally as tasty, was absolutely fantastic, so I'm looking for something similar to that today. Maybe upgrade it slightly and have some fries with it. We shall see, but when by the sea, if there's some fish on the go, always a good idea, if you like fish, of course. Can't beat a good German Schloss. Some you can have a little look around inside, sometimes for a fee, sometimes not. Quite a few are turned into restaurants or hotels, that kind of thing. This one seems like it's a restaurant here and a park, usually a park involved with a Schloss. And just going to have a little look around here, walk back through the town and then head on out towards the Kugel place. I've forgotten the name of already. Right, Kugelbake, Ball Beacon. I'm presuming it's some kind of lighthouse, but we shall see when we get there. As I say, it's roughly an hour's walk from the railway station, so I've come in the opposite direction for the time being. So probably an hour's a quarter's walk, hopefully passing some interesting things along the way. This is a lovely tranquil place. Not that many people around today, although it is a Monday morning in autumn, and I guess the holiday season here is more or less over with. I noticed on the train coming here, those that were on the train looking like they were on leisure activities, if you like, same as me, were mostly quite elderly. Not too many young people. I guess families back at work and back at school, etc. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be quite a peaceful day here. It's very popular though. I think it was. I saw it described somewhere as Germany's most popular seaside resort. Having said that, of course, they don't have that many. Their sea coast is quite small for such a very large country. Most of it's got land borders with other countries. Nearest equivalent, I suppose, would be the lakes that span the German and Swiss border you can visit. But of course, they're lakes, not the sea. Anyway, this has been nice little wander around here, around the gardens of the Schloss and park, and I'm going to head back through the town, back past the main station, and head out towards Kugelbake. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I know Kugelschreiber's a pen, so that's where the ball bit comes from. I'll be interested to see what this Kugelbake looks like when I get there. I don't know if it's just me, but whenever you travel to anywhere really that are on the extremity of a country, so here being a good example, but anywhere really, they've always got a different vibe to them than places that are smack bang in the middle of a country or near to the capital city, etc. I'm thinking of places like, say, Cornwall in the UK, the west coast of Wales, when you get north of the big cities in Scotland, up towards the Highlands, and also out in places like East Anglia in England, always have that kind of far away from everywhere feel to them. And although this isn't far away really from a lot of places, we're not that far away from Hamburg or Bremen, it still has that kind of feel, and I think that's more so when you're by the coast as well. So yeah, interesting place, quite nice, quite laid back, quite calm. Just nothing majorly exciting about the town centre as such, other than it's quite a pleasant place to have a wander. Fairly standard really for a small German town. Right, so map set. Let's see where this takes me. I'm going to head out not directly to the Kugelbake. I'm going to go to where it says the dunes are, and some mention of a fish. I'm not sure it's fish market or fish restaurant or something. So I'm going to head out towards that, and then take a walk along the coast to the Kugelbake. And all of that should take around about an hour and a half, I think. Maybe longer if I'm distracted with things along the way. Seafood restaurant there. Let's just have a little look. See, it looks quite a, how should we put it, not too pretentious or posh. Nice to see their orange EasyJet blankets for outdoor seating as the temperature here in autumn starts to dip a little bit. Oh, even written in English there, fish and chips, $10.90. Whoa, now that definitely sounds promising. Way too early for fish and chips for me, but I'm going to put that on my to-do list as a possible to-do list later on. Okay, let's get moving. Cuxhaven, here we come. It's got a very, very pleasant vibe, this place, I have to say, and I do like this this boat that, what's it, waiting for the tide to come in? There was a far more impressive version of one of these in Bremen yesterday. If you've seen that video, you'll know what I mean. Yeah, wherever you go, there's these signs that will tell you how far away you are. So 348 kilometres from Berlin, 8,910 from Bangkok, and London, just a mere 650. What are we at? Brown lager, South Pole, 15,995 kilometres, and the North Pole 4,678. Fantastic, love it. South Pole and North Pole, that's the new one. I guess thumbs up from me for adding that one in. About halfway out to the sand dunes now. Couple of kilometres still to go, and it's quite pleasant out here, albeit next to quite a busy road. It's not a problem though, it's a nice wide footpath, and I can see why there was quite a few people on the train with push bikes, and I saw a couple of places where you could hire push bikes, and yeah, it would be a great place to cycle around here. It's extremely flat, and there's a good network of cycle paths, as you can see right next to me at the moment, and that seems to be the case everywhere I've walked so far. So I'm going to keep plodding in the general direction of the sand dunes and take that nice walk along the coast back towards the Kugelbake, as I say, hopefully pronouncing that correctly. Right, finally turning off this busy main road. I love some of the street names around here. They're all very sea orientated or ocean orientated. On to Poseidon Weg way, and Neptune Way is just down here, and I dare say I'll come across some more. Gonna just heading off towards the seafront now. I'm not going to actually reach the seafront. There should be a turn off to the left where I'll run parallel for a while before I actually reach the seafront, and then I'll be walking back from the left to the right on what looks to be a kind of a polder, if you like, a sea defence. Polder's a Dutch word, obviously, for, well, a polder. Not sure what the German version of it is, but I guess it's a built-up piece of land or strengthened sand dunes to protect the inland, all these houses and so on, from the sea if they get very high tides or storm surges and so on. I'll have a better look at it once I get over there. I'm going to get to the beginning and walk back towards the Kugelbake, which is signposted quite frequently actually, so I'm presuming it's worthy of a look. Actually, is it polder? Just thinking about it, it's dikes, isn't it? Dike in Dutch, and I think just quickly looking on the map, which just reminded me, Deich or Deich seems to be the word for it in German. It just shows it on the map, Seedijk, Seedijk. So yeah, so I'm not sure what polder is now. I thought polders were for keeping out the sea as well, but maybe I've got muddled. Might have to look that up actually as I'm ambling along. Right, no, polder is a low-lying piece of land reclaimed from the sea and would typically be protected by a dike. So there we go. I don't think I'm actually in a polder here, although it is a low-lying piece of land and it is protected by a dike. So anyway, got a big bus full of school children ahead, so I shall switch the camera off for obvious reasons. Right, well, here we are out by the coast, just on the other side of this dike is the sea and the sand dunes, and I'm going to walk up over there in a minute. Just going to go just along here. I believe there's a shop just up there I can grab a drink, and then by the sea of course, and walking all the way back along there to the Kugelbake. I forgot what it was called again then for a moment, which according to Google Maps at least is a straight line walk by the sea for approximately 40 minutes, so that should be nice. And see what we can see up there. Now I've got out to the seafront, there's plenty of places to grab some food along here, drinks, lots of accommodation, hotels and apartments, public loos, all that kind of thing are in abundance. So for some reason when it said sand dunes I was expecting it to be something a bit more wild, but it certainly isn't. It's and it is noticeable that the general clientele along here on today at least is of elderly nature, but perhaps this is the time of year the older generation come here. Presumably prices will be a bit lower. It's outside of the school holidays here, and not so busy, not so hot. It does actually get quite warm here, even though we are on the North Sea in the very northern part, or northern Europe. So I imagine it's a bit like Britain. The weather can be somewhat changeable, but it's a nice day today. It's still a bit overcast, but it's quite warm. Perfect day for walking actually. Nice cool breeze, and yeah, just going to go to this what appears to be the centre of this part of the coast, and go up over onto the beach. Well, it certainly has got a little epicentre of beach resort kind of vibe to it up here. Yeah, it's got all the stuff you might need if you headed out this way. If you, incidentally, if you do come into Cuxhaven on the train, unless you do like quite a reasonably uninspiring, lengthy walk, you're probably better off getting the bus. There are buses from out here, I noticed. Of course, many might drive here anyway, so just drive straight here. But yeah, there's certainly plenty to keep you occupied over here in terms of places to eat and shop Certainly some lovely smells going on. And there it is, I knew there'd be one here somewhere, the almost compulsory tourist train. And of course isn't an actual train. It's very British, that one. Take you up and down the coast, I guess. I'll pass on that one. No, not a bad little area though, all that said. Looks like the bit up there that you walk along, the promenade if you like, it's called the Strand, or Strand, just Strand, so not quite ready for some food yet, although I have to say the smells wafting around here at the moment are absolutely fantastic, especially if you like fish, which I do. Wow, well, I was expecting to see the sea slightly closer than this. Now, I did read somewhere that walking on the sand flats, if you like, over there is a thing. I can see quite a few people out of there, but I'm guessing you need to know about the tides before you go doing it. Otherwise you could get caught out. I know Morecambe Bay is somewhere similar in that respect, but there you go. So I'm looking due north now, so I point my camera over in that general direction. If you well, once you got to the sea, got a pedalo and kept pedaling, you'll eventually reach the UK, and over there you would eventually reach either an even more northerly part of Germany or eventually Denmark. This is a certainly lovely beach here, and I can see why there is a dike to protect from the sea, because once you get over the other side there, it is more or less at the same level as these sand flats over there. So it wouldn't take much in terms of a tidal surge or strong wind blowing in from the north to send the water right the way over there. Presumably you can hire these. I think I saw somewhere, the sign makes sense now. I believe that you would hire these online and it would allocate you a number, which one's yours, and of course pay for it online. The days of the guy in shorts walking around collecting 50 pence for the morning and 50 pence for the afternoon are truly over. Pontoon Cafe, oh yeah, I remember seeing that one. I imagine that starts to float at some point. Looking at the sand though, don't think the tide comes up much further than about where I am now. You can just see the different colour of the sand there, as it's still damp from when the tide was last in, but up here the sand is very much bone dry and not really much in the way of seaweed washed up there, so I'm guessing, and also the fact that the Pontoon Cafe steps only really go in line with where I'm walking now, so I don't think you're ever stranded on board. It'll be a strange experience sat there eating your lunch and then it's suddenly starting to float. That's quite noticeable actually, just some little bit of movement when the water reaches that height, and you can see out there's a lot of ships there heading in towards Bremerhaven, I would expect. Maybe even Cuxhaven. They're all ports here on the north of Germany, important ports as well. As I say, Germany doesn't have that much coast, so what it does have it has to make the most of, and that's why you see so much industrial shipping going through the big rivers such as the Rhine. Those great big Those great big river cargo boats that go up and down the Rhine are quite impressive. Right, so I'm going to head onwards in this direction now to the Kugelbake. Okay, just spoke to a very friendly local walking their dog along here, and with our mixture of broken English and broken German, yeah, it's quite a tradition to go walking out on the sands here, but you do have to be extremely careful, and the water does come in very quickly. So yeah, a little bit like Morecambe Bay. If anyone's ever been there, they will know what I mean. And although it doesn't look like you'd get stranded to the point of it going over your head, it looks like it just comes in very quickly. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a while before that happens, because I was looking forward to seeing one or two of these people leaving it to the last minute and kind of rushing on in, but I don't think that's going to happen. I might just Google to see what the tide times are here, because I'm going to be a little while walking along the coast. As there's nobody out there, maybe there aren't any collecting cockles and mussels from the water, from under the sand. Is that what they collect at Morecambe Bay, cockles, is it? Yeah, something like that. Right, well, if Google's correct for today, which I'm sure it is, we're not quite at low tide yet. There's another hour or so for it to reach low tide, which is probably why so many people are out there confidently wandering about. And high tide isn't until about 8 o'clock this evening, so and it's got a tidal range of about 6 feet. That's all, 6 feet. That's not all that much, but certainly if you're less than 6 feet tall, you might struggle if you're right out in the deepest part there. But anyway, all that aside, that looks a bit of fun. I've not got the right footwear to go walking out there today, and I don't really want to get completely covered in sand and wet, so I'm going to go back into the dike and walk along there on the strand. Yeah, there's a sign there which gives you all the details that you would need to know about walking on the mudflats. That was the word I was trying to find earlier on. Now I've just translated it, but yeah, it's all in German obviously. So if you ever come here and you fancy doing that, then make sure you've got your Google Translate if your German's not too good. It gives you an idea of the times when you should or shouldn't go down there, and a few warnings as to the risks you take if you do go down there when you shouldn't do. So yeah, as I say, there's plenty of people out there at the moment having a little wander about, but they've got plenty of time, at least 4 to 5 hours. Not see anyone foraging though out there for shellfish or anything, but maybe they are. It's amazing how close the ships are actually to the edge of the mud flats. To Cuxhaven. Well, once you get away from the mini beach resort area back there where all the hotels were, cafes and that, there's not a huge amount along here. There's cafes every so often serving a variety of foods, so it looks quite nice. They all look quite nice, and the prices I noticed weren't too crazy either. So yeah, it's a great place for a walk along here. Really is nice and very accessible. Okay for, I think you have to actually cycle your bike over on the other side. There's the cycle track there. There's no cycles on this side, just walking or mobility scooters as you saw just there. Which is it's a bit of a shame for the cyclists actually, because you can't really see much from over the other side of the dike, but anyway, there you go. Probably too many accidents and people going too fast. Probably about halfway along now to get to the Kugelbake, so I shall report back once I get there. Oh, guessing that's the Kugelbake just there, unless something else appears. And what a fantastic walk along this North German coast. It's really quite a pleasant day. I can imagine in the middle of winter it does get quite breezy along here, and in fact looking at the land on the other side of the Elbe estuary there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of wind turbines. I doubt they come out on the camera, maybe they do, but yeah, clearly the wind blows in from the North Sea, and that's why they're there. And yeah, so it is. So when I reach the point here, it's the very end of the Cuxhaven Peninsula, the end of the beach really, and where the Kugelbake is. If you sail with that boat over there is sailing, and keep on going, you will come to Hamburg up the River Elbe. And I suspect those larger ships, at least, that were sailing in earlier on, that's precisely where they were heading. Cuxhaven, and that concludes this video. Unless I can see anything of interest between here and the main railway station, which is the bus and take that there. That would be it. So